it's Kestrel. I'm gonna do a personal update because I guess I really need to. I have been putting it off, so this is unadulterated and unedited. Here we go! Okay. I'm gonna do one of these, and I'm bad at this kind of thing, so let's try to talk about me. Well, this is actually more specifically going to be about a process in which I am going through hormone therapy. For anybody who doesn't know, I'm a trans guy. Gasp! Actually, I've been misgendered in that people thought, back when I was claiming to be bigender, people were like, oh my gosh, look at that guy. And there were also people who were like, oh my gosh, look at that girl. And I was like, long story short, and a lot of internal conflict and sorting out later, here we are. It should be pretty clear if you see on any of my pages, internet. I guess the reason I'm doing these is because I started hormones, like 4.5 weeks ago, I think, yes. What crap. You know what, I'm gonna put a date in here. It was, August 21st. I actually don't remember what day it was, which is, oh, okay. A lot of people who are doing these transitional things, like these hormone therapy update vlog things, know every single time and day, and every single little tiny detail, the doctor's names, and how they felt every moment along the way, and this is not going to be like that because, well, I don't like to hold on to stuff very much. Which is why I probably don't remember most people I meet for brief periods of time, who I never see again. So I'm sorry about that. But anyway, so, yeah, I'm starting a vlog, about myself. Okay, so what I'm gonna talk about first is anything that I noticed so far, after starting testosterone, which is really crappy because I am overly analytical about everything. And that makes it really hard to notice any differences without second-guessing every single possible change. Well, I mean, they're all hypothetical anyway. But my problem is that I think something's changing, but then because I think that it could be changing, I wonder if it's a placebo effect where me thinking it's changing is making me decide, yes, it must be changing. So some things work like that, and it's totally fine. But I wish that it would be more clear. I wish it was more clear. But it's not. And we're just gonna have to kind of go with this along the way. So, I'm gonna be a little vague about some things, but just bear with me. Maybe you'll figure out some of these details that I'm not gonna elaborate on. I got my shot the day after. My hormones, naturally, were already really freaking crazy. I had a good control over my usual hormonal imbalance for approximately 1 week, in which I could handle my mood, I could handle my energy, I could handle everything. I could handle everything. It was great. I understood everything. And then I got my shot the day after all that shiz stuff started. And it was fine. I injected myself the first time, which is unusual. Most people have the doctor or the nurse do it their first time, and then they come back next time and they are shown how to do it, and they either do it themselves that time, or the nurse does it again, and then the third time they might do it themselves, and then maybe the fourth time they'll do it at home, or something like that, but because I live 2 hours away from the hospital that I went to, I was allowed to do it myself the first time, which was really cool because I happen to be interested in that kind of thing. Not like injections, because that makes me sound like a horrible druggie, but, I'm not. But I find pain really interesting, to put it lightly. And so I was really excited to do that. I was like, hell yeah, okay, I'm like totally in on this. I'm not nervous about it. I'm not anxious about it. I'm totally fine. And I'll give myself the shot the first time. So the lady explains how The nurse explained how it went, like 6 times. No, it was probably 12 times. She explained exactly where the shot had to go in my hip, and it was just, she explained it like so many times, and I was like, okay, I got it, and she kept explaining it. And I was like, okay, let me just do this already. And then she had to show me with her shaky, nervous hands, which I don't know why they were nervous, because she was the nurse. She was shaking. Maybe she was malnourished. Maybe she hadn't slept in more than 24 hours. I don't know. You know how hospitals go. But anyway, hospital staff, I'm sorry. But so eventually I'm just like, okay, this is it. I showed you 6 times or so. Now I'm going to do it. And I did it. And it went very well. It was easy. It didn't hurt, which I was disappointed about. Yeah, it was smooth. And there weren't any changes immediately. Like, some people feel this jolt of energy, which I imagine is probably just adrenaline. Okay, so here's my analytical view of all this. It's probably just adrenaline when people get all excited about their first shot. They're like, woo, all zapped up and excited because it's something they've been wanting for a really long time. But me, on the other hand, it has been something I've been wanting for a really long time. However, it's still a process. It's not like, boom, instant gratification. It's like, it's gonna be years before we see, like, substantial results. There will be little changes along the way, but there will not be substantial results until, like, 2 to 5 years later, in which you'll be able to see a huge difference. Which is why I want to do these video blogs. Because I will probably just be so absent-minded about any kind of physical change or other change, because it's a day-to-day basis. However, I am very observant, so I have noticed some things already. Only 4.5 weeks, and I've noticed physical things already. And, yeah, I'm gonna be vague about some of them, because this is gonna be, public. But, so day 3 after having gotten my shot, I was really tired, and apparently that's pretty common for getting your shot, is you get kind of drowsy, you get tired, and so that took place, and I took a nap, which is incredibly abnormal. I never freaking nap. I used to be able to when I was in high school because I stayed up all dang day and night and barely slept, but insomnia aside, which I no longer have, I was really tired and sleepy and crap and blah blah blah, and I slept a lot. And then that usually lasted like 2-3 days after the shot. 2 weeks. I take my shot bi-weekly, by the way, and it's only 0.5 milliliters. It's a half a thing. And so that's how that went. And I didn't notice anything immediately, of course. I mean, not of course, because some people do. I don't know if it's psychological or what, but some people do genuinely notice some things. And I didn't feel any different, and people were all disappointed because they wanted me to be all jacked up and stoked and thrilled and joyous, and I was just like, yeah, it started, but every single step so far has been part of a huge process. This is just another part of a huge process. So I don't feel super relieved about any of it. I mean, I am. It's just not. I don't usually represent my emotions so blatantly like a lot of my friends. Or, well, not my friends, not to make them sound bad, but most people like to show their emotions, and I don't. So, except for nervousness and anxiety and awkwardness, I laugh and I smile. So, by the way, I'm not having a great time here. I'm just giggly because it's so awkward. But if you want to perceive it as me being in a great mood, go for it. Either is fine. I'm not in a bad mood. I'm actually in a pretty good mood, but this kind of attitude is regardless of that fact. I gave myself the shot the first time. It went really well. I didn't feel it. I gave myself the shot at home the second time. The tip of the syringe is thicker than the one that I used in the hospital, so I could actually feel it that time, which was a little weird because I wasn't in the safety of a hospital, so if something went wrong, I'm fucked. Well, I'm not that fucked. I could just, like, go someplace. To a hospital, I mean. And, I did it myself. I got a bruise that time. The second time I did it, the first time I did it by myself at home, the second time I did it at all, I got a bruise, and it was weird. But whatever, it didn't do anything wrong. I made sure it was all good and the way it was supposed to be, and it was all fine, and I just got a bruise. And soreness in my right butt cheek, which was weird. But, anyway. But there wasn't anything abnormal about the way that happened either. And then I just did it last Wednesday, which would be my third time, and that was fine. I didn't bleed as much, because sometimes you bleed when you take it out poorly. I didn't bleed as much, and it didn't hurt as much. It went more smoothly. I think it was just because I'm a little more confident now in all that, giving myself the shot. I guess it's been more than 4.5 weeks. Fuck, I don't know. Crap, I don't fucking know. But anyway. I started last month. It was like mid-August 2016. And the weird thing about all this is that it's such a short period of time, but I can already see slight physical things, which is like the hair here is getting thicker and darker, but it's only like 3 to 4 on each side of my corner of my mouth. Corners of my mouth. Frankly, it's frustrating because I already shaved before in preparation for having to shave later when I needed to, so that's not that bad, but I could get away with shaving like once a week if I felt like it. Now it's like, I don't want to look like a middle school student, so I have to shave like every other day, which I can get away with too. And it's only here, like the rest of this is thicker, it's just not dark, so I can get away with that still. It's just not super noticeable like these, if you stare into my face after a few days of me not having shaved anything. So, there's that. I pulled a hair off of my head today that was sticking up like this. It was like doing a loop-the-loop, so I pulled it off, and I looked at it, and I was like, holy shit, that's so thick, which is weird because my hair isn't really that thick, usually. But it was only this one, and I was looking at my other hairs. But hold on, I'll just pull it off of my head here. Okay, I got one. Yeah. Okay, so I don't think you can see this. Well, anyway, there's a hair here, and the one that I pulled off of my head today was like 2 times thicker than this. I don't know if that was a coincidence or what, because frankly, it doesn't make any sense. It would not have possibly worked that way, because I only started a while ago, and it was my whole hair that was super thick. So that was a weird thing. I noticed, too, that during the period of time in which my hormones are all fucking weird naturally, I am a big fucking stubborn baby, and it's a pain in my ass, and it's a pain in everybody else's ass, because it's so dumb. I literally have no reason to be acting that way, but I'm a big damn stubborn baby, and it's so dumb, and it lasts like 2.5 days or so. I'm getting a better handle on it, so it shouldn't be much longer before it doesn't happen at all. It's just so embarrassing, because my hormones are all like... and it makes me act like an idiot. But I usually disclaim to the people around me, like, I have to tell you that I'm acting like a big baby, and I know that, and I'm sorry. And I don't know if I can do anything about it right now, but trust me, it won't always be like this. But it's only a short period of time each month, so it's not that big of a deal. And I think it won't always be like that anyway. I asked my doctor, and I don't even know who I was talking to. It was my counselor I asked. She told me that you'd most likely feel more adrenaline than you would a mood swing or something like that, which I don't really feel a mood swing anyway. It's just that I kind of get dumb and stupid. Dumb and stupid, yeah. I noticed muscle definition is slightly different. Like, okay, I was already pretty muscular. Okay, for my size, I was pretty muscular. Also, I'm sorry, that's gross, because I'm double jointed in my shoulder. And it looks like there's something seriously wrong here. Trust me, there isn't. It's just that I'm double jointed. Yeah. But anyway. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm an avid Equius cosplayer. I have to. No, I don't have to. I'm just a weirdo. Okay, so this is different for everybody, and it really depends on the fat content of your body and the general muscle distribution you already have. So if you're fairly fit, this is going to stand out more as you're progressing through testosterone, I guess. That's my observation. That's my assumption, I should say. I haven't really looked into that. So I was already pretty fit, but now my muscle definition is more noticeable, and it's not like it wasn't noticeable before. It's just that it was like a softer like the definition was softer, and now it's like more toned. I don't think I have more muscle. It's just I think it's more visible because the fat is redistributing. And so there's that. What else? That's pretty cool. I have knee hair. I never had knee hair before. That's weird. I mean, what? What? Knee hair. What am I gonna do with that? I don't know. But now I have knee hair. In case you're wondering when you'll get your knee hair, I would imagine within the first 2 months, because that's me. I got my knee hair approximately 2 months later. I noticed that in general, I'm more even-tempered. I'm less irritable, and this is good because I feel in general it's going to help me acclimate back into the life of going into public and being more social out in public. It's not like I suddenly have all this confidence because I was a pretty confident person before. It's just that little things that I might have overanalyzed with a negative or pessimistic perspective, I'm less likely to do that to those things now. And one example would be like if I'm talking to somebody at work, most likely in a higher position than myself, I would second guess what I would say and think to myself, oh, that was really dumb, they probably took it the wrong way, or that was stupid, I could have said this other thing instead, or maybe it would have been better had I not said anything, or something like that. And lately it's more like, oh, that was kind of dumb. Oh well, it's too late, what am I going to do about it now? So that, I don't know whether or not any of this is, or I don't know if that is relative to testosterone, but I would assume it most likely is, considering that was a huge part of my personality before. It's like second guessing and insecurity kind of went hand in hand when it came to my verbal responses to people, because I'm so critical of my speech when I want to be taken seriously, or when I want to be looked upon respectfully, when I want to be respected, or something like that. So, yeah, I think that probably concludes this update, because I rambled on for approximately 20 minutes now, and I'm going to go, otherwise I don't know what I'm going to say. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye.